Welcome to Parenting Decoded, a podcast for practical approaches to parenting. I'm Mary Eschen. Don't you hate it when your kid does something so embarrassing or just plain mean to someone else? Biting another kid, stealing something out of someone's backpack, sending mean texts, yelling at their sibling that they hate them, maybe disturbing a room full of quiet children who are concentrating. It makes you just cringe. You have to get them to apologize for any such offenses, right? Did your parents ever force you to apologize? Did it really make you feel sorry? I'm guessing that, like me, you probably just felt worse, felt embarrassed, and it made you even more mad at whatever or whomever caused you to be rude in the first place. Apologies are really important. However, what we want as parents is for the heart of our kid to change, to have them understand that their behavior was unacceptable and caused hurt in another human being. Here are some ideas that might be more effective at changing their hearts instead of just forcing them through the motions of an insincere, "I'm sorry." The first thing is to wait till the emotion has passed. The worst time to get a kid to apologize is when they're still full of emotion. You have to wait until they are calm and can talk about the situation and until you are calm as well. In the moment, we get so distraught and embarrassed at what our kids have done that we want to lash out and fix things right away. We drag them across the playground and say things like, "Apologize to Sarah right now," or "Tell Jamie you're sorry." Instead, we need to go brain dead and to take time for everyone's feelings to subside. It might be you wait until you get your child home from school or a play date, or even the next day. This calm will allow us to make sure that their minds are open to a discussion when we move to the next step. Feel free to weave in empathy for the situation. "Wow, it sure is tough when we hurt someone's feelings. I can tell you're upset. Let's talk about it later. I sure love you." Second, brainstorm ways to make amends. Brainstorming is the next step. There are a few pointers to make this as effective as possible. First, do it privately without your other children present, if at all possible. You don't need comments from snarky siblings as you tackle the issue. If you can give 100% of your attention without juggling other things at the same time, it really helps. Next, ask if they're ready to talk about ideas for apologizing before launching into your own ideas. This is the test to see if their brains are open. If they answer yes, that they're ready to talk, it means that their thinking brain has turned back on. If no is their response, then emotions might be still holding onto their brain, so hold off and try again at another time. Don't forget to throw in another round of empathy like, "I can see an apology might be really hard for you. I sure love you. Let's try again later." Third, once you have an opening, exchange ideas of how they intend to deal with the apology. Sometimes you'll get an immediate, "I don't know." Feel free to gently suggest ideas of what you think might work, keeping in mind we want to activate their brain in the thinking process. We put out one idea at a time and think about it together. We want an apology that will work for them, so their feedback is really important. What does it look like when you're done? Well, one son decided to write a letter instead of walking up to the girl he was mean to. One boy who threw a block at his brother decided he'd give his brother a hug, say he's sorry, then let him play with his new Play-Doh set. In another situation, a teenager offered to babysit their younger siblings after taking the car when they weren't supposed to. They could give flowers with a note, draw a picture. These days, they could even make a TikTok video apology if that's their thing. Feel free to be creative and to role-play the apology, or, even more useful, role-play how they'd avoid the situation from happening the next time it comes up. As a parent, you want to support your child in learning different ways they might apologize that work for them so that as you launch them into the future, they have skills for repairing relationships when things go wrong. The brainstorming models for them that they can figure out an apology strategy that works for them, not a parent-enforced and insincere, "I'm sorry." Third, you need to make sure that you're getting to their heart, and you might need to use consequences. There are times when even brainstorming with your child just doesn't work. What then? When a kid's heart is disconnected from the impact of their behavior, it's best to let a consequence do the encouraging rather than a forced apology or giving them a lecture. I love how Love and Logic tells parents to use what they call energy drain. You give empathy and then, "Oh, this is so sad. It really drains Mommy's energy when I see that you aren't willing to apologize for hitting your sister or being too loud and disrupting class, or maybe taking food that was meant for the birthday party tomorrow." After the empathy, ask them how they are going to put energy back in you. It might be a chore or a service that they do for you. Each time they drain your energy this way, you let them pay you back. Over time, if you're consistent and loving, they will learn that their poor choices of causing hurt in others are causing them to do extra work. Yes, real work, instead of just saying some stupid words that don't mean anything to them. If this work doesn't make them get a heart for their actions, at least you've stopped the insincere words, which weren't changing behavior anyway. If you see your child needing more of this reinforcement, feel free to get more details by listening to Parenting Decoded's podcast number 10 on consequences. To summarize, we want our kids to apologize, and we need to set up ways for them to learn to do this after emotions have calmed down and in ways where their heart is engaged and they are sincerely sorry. That's all for now. If you need help and encouragement, feel free to contact me anytime. My mission is to help parents feel supported and encouraged. Feel free to email me, mary@parentingdecoded.com, and set up a Zoom coaching session, or send me an email. We can help out on email too. Lastly, I'd love to have any of you take a minute and help me out by rating this podcast and maybe even writing a review. It would really, really help encourage me. Take care and be safe. Have a blessed rest of your day.